Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So today we have the top 10 science champions in Battlegrounds. Now this is going to be irrelevant of any metas, so keep that in mind. Like this will change in, let's say, next month in the crit me with your best shot meta. Like let's say, like Joe Fixit is going to be top 1 science, but here he's not going to be top 1. So starting off with the top 10. So the top 10 is Quicksilver. Quicksilver is actually kind of not in a good spot for PGs right now. You don't see him much in people's decks, but I do see sometimes like those 7-star rank 3s, those 7-star rank 2s. He is very rare as a 7-star, but I feel like a 7-star is actually quite good because he's pretty annoying at defense. Like his animations, his specials, they're not easy. Some people can't even dex them. And on attack, if you know how to use him, you can kill the opponent sometimes in like 40 seconds. If you go to that special 2 and then detonate your charges while you're throwing your special 2, which does bonus damage. And also, you know, he's got so much damage, which, you know, if you go for the special 3 rotation, not even a 7-star rank Sasquatch is going to survive like special 3, special 2. However, that takes too much time. That's going to take you like at least like 80 to 100 seconds to do, but no one can survive that. But yeah, for those kind of like short mystics, he can definitely take them with 1L2 while you're detonating your charges, your whiplashes. Now up next for the top 9, we have Scorpion. So this guy, I feel like he would have been a lot higher in the list if he was a 7-star, but because he's a 6-star, he's sitting up top 9, because when he's fighting those 7-star rank 3s now, you know, the maximum level you can take a 6-star, a 6-star rank 5 ascended, and that's where he's stuck at. If like 7-stars keep going, and they go even up to like 7-star rank 4, he's gonna probably get removed from the top 10 because he would take too much time. However, he is one of the safest champions, if not the safest champion to use in BGs, because 99% of the people run willpower and he can heal like 60% of your health back, 50, 70, whatever the amount is, if you have him awakened. You don't even need to have him like max sig or anything. I think 660 is where you want to have him actually, and it doesn't matter above that. But yeah, that's what I love about Absorbment too. Like you don't take much damage if you take hits. Same thing with Scorpion. And also for me, he is a pretty good defender, especially if there's like a really tricky node with his 20% chance to evade. Let's see. It's a 20% chance to evade. That's pretty high, man. Like it's super high, and it's not like sig dependent as well. You just need to have him, and he has a 20% chance to evade. And it's really tough to like do 20 hits before like 15 seconds pass. So he is potentially a threat on defense as well. At least for me, you guys know that I do not like fighting Scorpion at all. And also the good thing about Scorpion is his immunities. He can take so many of those matches. Now for the top 8, this guy is not in Aunt May. And I don't know if this guy is really that crazy. He could be even higher than top 8. I have not seen anyone use him in BGs because this current meta is not really good for him, because he applies like this plasma auto incinerate, which like you don't deal much damage off of that because the energy resistance. So I feel like this guy could be a lot higher than top 8, but I feel like I want to put him at the top 10 at least, because he's actually not bad as a defender either. His specials are not easy to dex. His SP1 is really fast. He can clip you. Special 2 is a lot easier in my opinion, but he's still very, very new. And I feel like a top 8 is good for him. Plus, you know, he doesn't really have too much ramp up on attack. You'd like go for SP1, SP2. And then most likely the opponent is going to die from like a few combos after if they have like 250 or 300k health. So top 8 for Count Nefaria. Up next, we got Silk. So Silk is surprisingly tanky on defense as well. As you can see, she has got 10% critical resistance. And if you don't have a high chance to crit, sometimes you might be stuck with not throwing a special until you crit. Because in order to remove her Silk sense there, the evade on defense, you have to crit. If you don't crit, she's just going to evade it. And I mean, yeah, you can throw a special and she can evade it and then it goes on cooldown. But that's still taking off your time. So yeah, because of that crit resistance, she can be a bit annoying. She also has quite high HP for a science champion, which is like small as well. So yeah, she's not terrible on defense. Also, her special 2 might mess you up sometimes. Now for attack though, she takes so many matches. She takes skill for sure. And she can even take not just like some mystics, she can take like onslaught. She can, I think she is like okay for Serpent because she, you know, she does kind of remove his critical resistance with I think their special 2 applies this the Sunder debuff, which lasts for 30 seconds, which means, you know, that you have a higher chance to crit because you remove their critical resistance. So that's pretty good for champions like, you know, Rintra, champions like Doom. So all of those crit resist, she can definitely handle them with that special 2. So yeah, sometimes you can definitely see like 30 seconds fight with Silk, and that's pretty impressive, to be honest. So yeah, Silk, really, really great. Now, if Silk was not a 7-star and the maximum rank can take it at his 6 rank 5 ascended, she wouldn't have been in the top 10. She's one of those champions that needs like the maximum rank so you can kill with like that one special 2 or like almost kill, you know? So that is the top 7. Now for top 6, we have Hulk. So Hulk, you know, this guy, he can take pretty much every single fight with like one special 2 and then special 1 stun lock. However, this guy is also insane if you go for the special 3. He is blessed with a 5-second SP3 animation, which is really great because he applies that massive physical resistance that allows you to do like 30k medium attacks with those crits. And yeah, he's kind of wild. And then also very, very easy to use. He's pretty decent for like dominoes as well, with his Furies not having any ability accuracy reduction, or like Mr. Sinister where he puts that concussion on you. Now, he's also not bad on defense. If he is awakened and quite high sig, he might mess you up. You know, if you're in the middle of like a special 2 animation or a special 1 animation and he triggers the Unstoppable, man, you know, Hulk, he becomes stronger when his health is lower. So if you take him to that 15% health and then he hits you with that Unstoppable, oh man, you're gonna take a ton of damage. And sometimes you might get stun luck from the SP1. All it takes is one SP1, you get stunned, and then it's game over. So yeah, Hulk can definitely be an annoying defender too. Now, moving on to the top 5. Some of you guys might disagree with this, but I feel like Joe Fixit is better than Hulk. Now, I think Hulk is a lot easier to use, and 99% of the times he is going to be faster than Joe Fixit, for sure. However, Joe Fixit is a much more annoying defender, in my opinion. Like, you can take so much block damage. He slows you down with the debuffs from Inequity. He has Petrify, which can potentially heal reverse you if he stacks like 2 of them. I think he needs only 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2 of them, as you can see. 60% potency. So if he places 2 on you, which is very, very easy, he starts reversing your power. And then as you can see, the Disorients are 40%. So they do reduce your block proficiency by quite a bit. And those can stack as well. And then the weakness is a 30%. So let's say you have like 2 weaknesses on you, that's like minus 60%. And then with Inequity on top of that, your damage is like nothing if you fight a big Joe Fixit. So I feel like a 7-star rank 3 Joe Fixit is a really good defender. As long as the opponent doesn't have some nuke options like Hulkling or CGR, or like a very, very strong skill champion with Cleanse, yeah, he is going to definitely deal some damage to the opponent. So I'm mostly putting my Joe Fixit on defense in those previous metas, but he can be used on attack as well. He is very nice. He kind of needs the Sig if you want him to be much better attacker, you know, so that he has more critical chance on the special 2, so that he gains more power gain and all that stuff. But I'm really happy with my 7-star rank 3 Joe. I'm definitely taking him to 7-star rank 4 when I can. He might even be first. Like, I might do Spot next. Like, Joe Fixit, I just love that guy a lot. Now, for the top 4, we have Spot. We just talked about Spot. So this guy, ever since I took him to 7-star rank 3, he's been taking Maestros. He's been taking Sasquatch like it's nothing. Like, he's not an ideal counter to Maestro, but I've killed a 7-star rank 2 Maestro with 2 SP1s with Spot. And that was it. That was like a 40-second fight. And that's impressive to me, man. Like, taking those unideal matchups like that because of how much damage this guy has when he's duped. So now I have my Sig 85, and he does even crazier damage. Like, most of the times when I throw a special 2, only the first 2 hits matter, because the rest, you know, the opponent is dead. So there's so much more overkill. And also, this guy, he might be squishy on defense, but a 7-star rank 3 has good health, and then having 20% chance to gain a spot on defense. That's pretty high. So most likely he's going to go into the untouchable unless you really know what you're doing and, you know, you're baiting the special ones, punishing them so that they, you know, remove one of his spots and then he can gain spots after that. But there is a chance, even if you know how to fight spot, that you get unlucky and he gets too many spots. And then if you want to bait the untouchable, you most likely do a parry and then do like a light attack so that, you know, you trigger it, because he also goes stun immune and there's a chance he hits you because, you know, you stun him and you go for that attack. Once you hit that attack, he's gonna miss and shrug off your stun. So there's a chance he hits you, but even if he doesn't hit you on defense, he does like 10% damage with one of that rupture, because those ruptures, when you're missing against them, they are very, very strong. So yeah, definitely not the easiest defender out there. Most nuke champions can kill spot really fast, but there's that chance you get super unlucky. Like 20% chance is like Scorpion evading. So it's like, it's pretty good, to be honest. Now for the top 3 champions, we have Titania. Titania, let's talk about defense. So she's really, really good on defense. Like, she has a ton of health. She can stall you with those haymakers. She also has critical resistance, a 10% critical resistance, and 10% physical resistance. So she is actually kind of a good staller for defense. Like, she's not going to kill you unless you try to like intercept her while she has a haymaker. But that doesn't really happen too often. But yeah, she definitely is not the worst defender out there. She has a ton of health, and that crit resist makes up for a really good defender. Now for offense, she is like very good. Like, if you can kill pretty much anyone with the heavy into the special 3 and then throw like 3 heavies after that. Now there is that chance the opponent throws a special and messes you up. But if that doesn't happen, I've seen 40-second fights Titania, 50-second fights. You know, she is also blessed like Hulk with that 5-second SP3 animation, which, yeah, it's very strong to have. Hulk and Titania are very lucky to have only 5-second SP3 animations, because it would change up their scores quite a bit. But yeah, Titania, you guys know, she is amazing. She is buff immune, one of the best things you can have in this game. Just really, really good champion. Now for the top 2, we have Spider-Ham. This guy is one of the fastest attackers, not just science attackers, one of the fastest attackers in BGs. Like, if you get some good RNG, which honestly you don't even need good RNG, like the 75% chance when you stun the opponent is really high. Like, look at that, you get a 50% chance to place a porker, and then if they are stunned, you get plus 25. So that's a 75% chance if you do like medium, and even with Limber you can't do that. Like, you don't even need good RNG. 75% chance is really high on its own. But if you say like go for 10 porkers before the opponent throws a special and then you bait a special too, most of the opponents lose like 70% of their health. Like 70% of their health is just insane. And then all you do is just you push them back to another special too, and then they just explode. So you can easily see 30-second fights with the pig. I personally have a 7-star rank 3 pig on my free-to-play, and he's just so good. Plus, he might seem squishy on defense, but man, his taunt reduces your damage by so much. Like, that taunt is very potent. It might even be reducing your attack by 40% or something, maybe even higher. Like, when it's on you, you deal no damage. And also, if he's awakened, look at that. When he's struck while stunned, there's a 30% chance to remove 1 spider nonsense and place a non-stacking porker popper. Now, this lasts for a very long time, especially if he's high sig. Look at that. It's crazy. And then, you know, you're having to wait all those porkers to fall off if you hit them while stunned. That's going to take some of your time. His special 1 is going to take some of your time with the taunt. And then also, you don't really want to push him to the special 2, because the special 2 is not easy to dex. And it does do a lot of damage as well. Especially being a 7-star, if you have that block penetration, it is tough. So the Piggy, definitely an underrated defender, and I feel like some people are going to mess up and then they're going to know as well, like me. Now, for the top 1, of course, we have Photon. I mean, do I even need to say anything about Photon? Like, now in this current meta, she might be easy on defense. You add 1 node against Photon, and you're cooked. Like, she can easily destroy you no matter who you're using. Well, actually, no. If you use someone that has, like, ability accuracy or, like, cleanse, you're good. But she is so tanky thanks to inequity. Sometimes you even need to wait the pure life form, which just takes so much time if you've got 14 charges and you need to wait them to 0. She does so much block damage. And she is good on attack too, like especially if she's awakened. She is very, very good on attack. Like she is immune to neutralize, meaning she can even take, like, let's say Rintra. She has that really nice, where's that heavy attack? I don't see the heavy attack, but in her heavy attack, there it is. First hit of either champion's heavy inflicts a Sunder. Sunder immediately reduces the opponent's crit resist to 0. You can take Rintra without having to worry about his crit resist. Doctor Doom, we just said like Silk, we said Titania, just remove all that to 0. That's very strong. She is very safe on attack as well, because you're always going to have debuffs on the opponent, and Inequity, if you're running it, is going to save you some of that damage you take. And yeah, it's just, she might feel like a ramp up champion, but she can ramp up in literally like 30 seconds, and you can go for like the 5 Fury rotation, throw SP1s, and kill the opponent in like 60 to 70 seconds. Like, yeah, Photon is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best dual threats, not just in the Science class. Science class, in my opinion, she is the top champ. Now, some champions that I didn't include, the reason is because they are 6 stars, and they're kind of stuck at being 6 stars for now. Like, for example, Human Torch. Human Torch, if I made a top 11 list, he would be the top 11. I think he's a very good champion, but you can already see him not being in people's decks anymore. There's another popular option, which is Red Guardian. Reason, because this guy is not a defender. He's like the easiest defender in the game, pretty much. He is very good in attack, but here we're searching for those good dual threats. Like, if you notice, the only champion that is not a dual threat from this list is like Silk, and she's kind of a sick attacker, and she's not terrible on defense either. Like, I'm not saying I'll play Silk on defense and then expect to win, but she sometimes can get me that round because of her crit resistance and her health. So that's what we're looking for, the dual threats. I didn't include, like, Jessica. Jessica is a really good defender, like sometimes one of the best in some of the metas, but she's just not good in offense. Or like Thing. Thing is amazing defender as well, but she just doesn't perform well on attack. That's why he doesn't deserve a top 10 here. Void was also probably my top 12 option. A very, very good defender, but also, you want him high sig, and there's no one really with a really high sig 7-star Void, so he isn't making that top 10. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about my top 10 science list. I'm definitely going to make one top 10 for each class, and I'm very excited for it. Let me know if you guys agree with my top 10, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.